Podcast, Cristo Rey Podcast, the Cristo Rey Podcast, coming at you. Podcast, Cristo Rey Podcast, the Cristo Rey Podcast, brand new cast and crew. But don't worry, your favorite podcast hosts are all still here. Brianna, Blankson, Nehemiah, and Ruby.
That's me.
But now they're joined with three new hosts, Daviana, Martai, and Rebecca. They're all quite awesome on their own, but put them together, they're like the Avengers of podcasting. Podcast, Cristo Rey Podcast, the Cristo Rey Podcast, right in your ears. Podcast, Cristo Rey Podcast, the Cristo Rey Podcast. Oh boy, here it comes.
Welcome back, guys, to the 2020 Cristo Rey Podcast. And I guess since I'm kind of the old head now as a senior and this is my second year here, I guess it's kind of time for me to pass the baton. So today here we have our new incoming host. First off, we have Rebecca.
Hi, guys. Kind of nervous, but very excited to be here.
We have Martai.
Hey.
And last but not least, our newest member, a freshman. She's kind of bold, Daviana.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, guys. I hope you love it as much as I do.
Yeah, we're glad to have you guys here. Can't wait to get to work with you this year. I know it's going to be a little difficult because of, COVID and we're all at home, but I bet it'll be fun having all of your perspectives. So
kind of transitioning to like this week's, first week of school, going back. How has it been for you guys being at the building?
Well, mine has been boring because we've been sitting in the same room. It's just, I want to switch rooms. So, yeah. But other than that, it's been good. I learned a lot.
And that's from Daviana, right? You're a freshman this year on the podcast.
Yeah.
Right. That must be nerve-wracking. Did you get to go to MAPS this year? I'm not sure if that was like a thing everybody had to go to.
No.
MAPS training, where they have like seniors, juniors training freshmen how to like do stuff.
No, I haven't went to that.
Yeah, usually like every year we have this thing called MAPS training that's tied to PWSP, and essentially you learn like basic skills for when you start working next year. I'm aware that you guys aren't working this year at jobs, right?
Well, online for me has been it's been bad, really, like getting up on time. Now that I'm a sophomore, it's kind of like the workload is kind of like heavier. So it's not all peaches and ice cream and butterflies like it was freshman year. Freshman year was when life was easy, and sophomore year is like, and then, yeah, but sophomore year, it's okay. It's going okay.
The first week of yellow mode was kind of stressful for me because, we had to shift the time. So, we're used to being ready for school like at 9 for our first period because when we were doing online. And then now we have to switch to like being at school at 7:45. So, I have to wake up earlier and I have to be ready with my uniform. So, yeah, it was kind of stressful in that sense. And also like just being in the same room for 8 hours and just being with the same people in the same environment for a very long time was kind of like stressful and different for me that I wasn't used to. And but I do think that the schools did a really good job of like doing everything in like the health guidelines and like trying to be as cautious as possible with like the 6 feet apart desks and everything. So I do think they did a really good job with that because honestly, I don't even think I could do that.
Hey everyone, my name is Mr. Blentz, and I recently started at Cristo Rey Columbus High School as the Strategic Communications Associate. I'm born and raised in Columbus and graduated from Quinnipiac University. And I know it sounds kind of funny, but I promise that that's the name of a real college up in Connecticut. Let's see, something about myself. Well, I love soccer, and so I look forward to seeing all the soccer skills of you guys here at Cristo Rey. And if anyone is interested in a juggling competition, definitely let me know. So I do want to talk about the garden party, which was this past weekend, and it was incredible. This event helps fundraise for programs like sports, student clubs, field trips, and many more exciting things. And it was fun seeing Buckeye basketball legend Clark Kellogg host. And speaking of the Buckeyes, I can't wait to see the football team get back on the field. Justin Fields coming back at quarterback, our young receivers, I mean, come on. There is no way Clemson's going to beat us this year. But anyways, getting back to the garden party, this year was the first time it was a virtual event, and it was awesome. I'm so impressed with everyone here at Cristo Rey Columbus. And I wanted to shout out both Carlia and Jaleel. They did a fantastic job during the garden party talking about their Cristo Rey experiences. It was really cool to hear from them, and I look forward to getting to know everyone here. And since football season is officially happening, if you happen to see me in the hallway, be sure to give me the OH and I'll follow up with the IO. So go Buckeyes and go Cougars.
Do you guys miss going back to school and like the normality of it, or have you guys been enjoying being in yellow mode? So you know how we're doing like the group thing, we have the group A and the group B. Do you guys like having time to be at home and then, as well being at school, taking turns going back and forth? Or do you guys just miss being at school, period, all week?
I'm gonna let Daviana answer that question because freshman year for me was so much different than it is now because I didn't have COVID freshman year, so I can't answer that. So
I miss being in school. I miss like talking because we can't when we in like I feel like when it's COVID now and we're in school, I feel like we can't talk to no one because we gotta wear these masks. And even though we not in school and we online, I feel like it's hard to meet new people at the same time. I just miss school. That's all.
Yeah, I can understand that. I remember, I feel like being in the COVID times right now, it's been a little too long. So my mindset is kind of stuck to like COVID. Like, I almost don't remember what life was like beforehand. Like being able to touch people. Like I look at TV shows from like 2012 and I see them touching each other. I'm like, oh yeah, people could do that. like you're allowed to do that back then. So I get confused. I'm like, you're breaking restrictions, but they're kind of not because they were allowed to. But yeah, that's understandable. I bet your freshman, like trying to get into the school was weird because I know when I first started, they took me from my school and I was able to actually come to Cristo Rey, meet a whole bunch of people, get to travel up and down the halls and stuff and like see where everything was at. I got to shake hands with people. Shaking hands was a big thing at our school. Giving hugs and stuff. We had all of that happening. And now this year for freshmen, I'm pretty sure the whole thing was completely different because of COVID. Can you like attest to that? How was that? And for you, Martai, how was it switching to sophomore year? Like, was it different from freshman year? Like you remember, like, were you in the same boat as me where freshman year you got to see everything and whatnot?
Well, for me, freshman year, my middle school, what we did was we took field trips to Cristo Rey. So like we met everybody and like we had a tour and we was going in the hallways and we learned about the different jobs that the school had and the different clubs that the school offered. And like you said, we went to MAPS, our freshman orientation, where we met our whole class and we got to handshake and hug and learn how to be more professional. And going into sophomore year, it's kind of different because you're in one spot, one room, all confined. So you can't do anything. You can't move around. You're just stuck, like you're just there.
Are you interested in joining JSA, but aren't sure what a convention is like? Then come to Supermega Minicon this Saturday, September 26th from 1 to 4 p.m. At this virtual convention, you will be able to get a feel for JSA, meet other members, and listen in on various debates. There is no fee, but $5 to $10 donations are recommended. If you're interested in attending, please email Paige Raison to RSVP and to get the Zoom link. We hope to see you there.
So yeah, I was basically saying, like, when I was in freshman year, I got to do a lot of hands-on stuff, like shaking hands when I first met people and hugging and whatnot. But I know with you coming into freshman year, because of COVID, you guys probably didn't get to do that. A lot of the stuff was online. Like, you probably met your teachers online. You didn't get to see them face to face. How was that for you? How did you feel during that process? And like, yeah, what was your experience like?
I felt like it was just, it really sucked because we didn't really get to, I wish we could meet in person because it'll be way better to meet online. And I didn't get to meet like all my classmates and be with all my classmates. I got to be with half of them. And it really makes me sad because I can't meet everyone that I want to, and I got to meet half of the people. And I just want us to all be in person and for us to like hug it out or something like that. Hug and stuff and shake hands, like you said. Like, I wish I have the same experience that y'all had last year.
I actually had a question, Ruby, for you and Brianna, since you guys are seniors, if that's okay. So how was it up to this point? How was you guys' experience at Cristo Rey up to this point?
I have a lot of opinions actually, but honestly, I feel like it's an experience that like not many people get offered. Yeah, I know that it's known that we get lots of workload and all, but it's something that not many people have the opportunity to experience, like work study and you know like our building is like our student body is not the biggest, but that only allows for us to get to really know each other as people. And I feel like the people there have, you meet all types of people. You meet people that like you can get really along with, and having a group of people being with you through all the years it's a feeling like you can't get back. Like those people stuck with me on my worst days and on my best days of Cristo Rey. All those long nights of studying and frustration. Like now for it to be like senior year, like it's a team effort, honestly, and it's just an experience that like only comes once around in your lifetime. And yes, when you're freshman year, you're gonna be like, oh, this is gonna suck. But these years are literally the years that you are gonna miss, because you're gonna leave one day and you're gonna enter adulthood, and one day you're gonna look back, and if you did not enjoy those years, you're gonna regret it, because it's essentially our teenagehood, and we have to be able to balance high school and then having a social life. It's harder at Cristo Rey because we have more workload, but it's only going to prepare you for adulthood. So trying to balance it out and enjoying your time here as much as you can is going to go a long way.
September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and it's a topic that can be uncomfortable for a lot of folks, so they don't talk about it. But not talking about it doesn't prevent it from happening. Last year in Ohio, suicide was the second leading cause of death for people ages 10 to 34. And according to a national survey, almost 8% of high school students reported a suicide attempt in the previous 12 months. During National Suicide Prevention Month, please remember that help is available. You can talk to a school counselor, call the Suicide Prevention Helpline at 1-800-273-TALK, or use the crisis text line by texting the word HOPE to 741-741. Because the more you know about suicide prevention, the more you know how to help someone in need.
You're going to be thankful one day, and you're going to look back and be like, wow, like I had a good time, stressful, but a good time.
Right. I was going to say, go off, Ruby. Ooh. Sorry, I don't know if you want me to continue after that.
I like what you said there, Ruby. Like, going into your senior year. So like, for example, next year I'll be going into junior year, and it will be, like how you said, I like when you said that, like, enjoy Cristo Rey now. So me and Daviana can take that as good advice, because next year she'll be a sophomore. So enjoy, basically what I got from what you said was enjoy Cristo Rey while it's there, because once you leave, then you're gonna be sad, because like Mr. Corgan said, we're all a family. So
Yeah,
Brianna.
at the end of the day, we're all Cristo Rey students, whether we like it or not. So we might as well make the best out of it. Even though, you could be stressed out, it's okay. You're there for a reason, and it's part of a purpose in life. We're a place, anything that happens to you in life is, I believe, is very true. It happens for a reason. Because, at the end of the day, like, oh, well, you can't do much about it. You might as well, make it the best as you can, and move on. And then you're gonna reflect once you're older and be like, wow, like, yeah, I might have complained that I want to be here, but I tried my best, and that's what matters.
Yeah, Ruby really said all that I needed to. She went off with that one. I was basically thinking the same things. It's just like Cristo Rey for me was a place where I was able to like find a community. When I first came here, I was a freshman, just like Daviana. All I had was my friend Veronica, who's actually one of our editors on this podcast. She was the only person I had with me coming into school. And then suddenly I started talking to more people who wanted the same things like me. We wanted to become successful. We wanted to do well in school. And we were people who would cry if we got like less than a 90 on an assignment. You know what I mean? Like, you don't find many people like that in high school. And like I was able to like build a community, and now you will see me hanging out with these same people every day, and I can see that in the future for us because of the community I found here at Cristo Rey.
Hello, my name is Maria Vallejo. I am originally from Mexico City. I work as a Spanish teacher in Cristo Rey Columbus High School. To me, it's very important to celebrate the Hispanic Heritage National Month. And it is important because it gives us the opportunity to celebrate two very important traditions. The first one is the Catholic faith, the fact that families gather together to pray the Rosario when there is joy, when there is sadness, when there is struggle. It is beautiful to just hear El Padre Nuestro, El Ave Maria, repeated several times in one voice. The second tradition is that family presence in everything we do. It doesn't matter if it's a birthday party or if there is a death in the family, or if there is a graduation, or there is a confirmation. Family is always with you and is supporting you every step of the way. So those are the two traditions that I love very much from the Hispanic heritage, and I think this month gives us the opportunity to celebrate both.
Like with other high schools, I had like Northland, I had Cause. Those were all options for me, but it just didn't seem right. And I feel like I made the right choice coming to Cristo Rey, because to other people, it may seem like any other high school, but we don't really see that because we've been in Ohio all of our lives. So all you grow to learn is what like regular students are like. But then if you kind of look outside of that, like on a bigger spectrum, the normal things you would see in a high school is bathroom stalls that are dirty. You might see kids acting out, bullying, all of that stuff. But Cristo Rey, I know it's not the same for everybody, but for me specifically, if you choose to go on the right path, it can be a place where you can have a lot of fun, you meet a lot of people. And that's something I got. Up till now in COVID, I still kind of have that because I started off with the base. Like if I didn't have that base that I created in freshman year, which is why a lot of freshmen actually need to do that. If I didn't have that base of like growth and friendships and like trying to maintain work and stuff and staying up, then doing this right now with COVID would be really hard. But it's like you kind of get used to it as the years go on. Like freshman year, it was you trying to fit in. And then the second year, sophomore year, is you just trying to get a hold on all of the AP classes that you're getting introduced to. Then in junior year, you're like, I've already done this. I'm tired. I kind of want to leave. And then in senior year, you're just like, wow, I can't believe I made it. Like that's how most of the seniors were like, we're really seniors now, huh? That's crazy.
And on your point, I'm gonna be honest. Going into freshman year, there's been days where I just wanted to quit and go home and say, you know what, I'm over it. I want to leave. Mom, take me to another school. But I had other people, other influences like upperclassmen, my class, telling me to stick it through. So it's been a good year and a half.
I wanted to ask Daviana, what's your thoughts on hearing all of this? Like, you're kind of getting an idea of how me, Ruby, Martai kind of started off at Cristo Rey. Does that make you kind of excited for what's going to come, or does that kind of make you like feel at ease, or is it giving you a little anxiety? How are you feeling right now?
I don't know. I'm just ready for like something to happen. I don't know. I'm just waiting for me to get that feel of I'm in high school now.
Yeah, I bet. It sucks. You're gonna have to push it through, honestly, because at the end of the day, things happen for a reason, but hopefully you'll be able to live that experience, you know? I mean, things happen for a reason, and, all this corona, honestly, it, caught us by surprise, but just try to make the best out of it, honestly.
Hi, Cougars. Welcome back. This is Mrs. Fisher, the Assistant Principal of Student Affairs. Most of you know me. Freshmen, you do not. But the roles that fall under my purview are student attendance, student discipline, and this year, safety, security, and health. Nurse Ross and I are working very closely together to keep you as safe and healthy as possible during this pandemic. I just want to say thank you for a great week. You have been amazing, and it's been an absolute pleasure to see you and your bright and shiny eyes hidden beneath those masks. You've all done an excellent job wearing appropriate masks and wearing them all day. You've done an amazing job with dress code. You're coming to school prepared. You're wearing the appropriate footwear. Your ties are cinched tightly. Socks are pulled up. Sweaters are on because it's been pretty cool. You've been amazing. Arrival and dismissal has been as smooth as could possibly be at this point in time. And you're even remembering to stay socially distanced despite having missed your friends, not being able to see anyone for quite some time. I even saw Jason Blanks using hand sanitizer in the morning and again before he got on the bus. Imagine that. You have been patient with our procedures, our new bathroom procedures. You've been patient with having to be escorted in the hallways. This is all new for us, and you are doing such a great job, Cougars, and I want to thank you for that. It's been amazing having you back, and we're going to do the best that we can to make this a really amazing and enjoyable year for you. See you all very soon. Thanks again for a really great week. Viva Cristo Rey.
Some tips that I can give you for freshman year is I have 3 good ones. Number 1 is stay out of drama. Don't let drama find you, because if you go into drama, that's all you're going to stay into. So, like, don't be messy. Don't be going into drama. Don't do that. Number 2 is make sure you do all your work and turn it in on time, because if you don't turn it in on time, you'll fall behind. And when you fall behind, you're going to be like, oh, I can't get out of this hole that I just created for myself. So make sure you turn in all your stuff on time. And don't be like me freshman year. When I needed help with something, I didn't ask. And that kind of caused me to go into like a depression, which caused my freshman year to be bad. So if you need help, ask. Don't be afraid to ask, because your teachers are there for you and they can give you all the answers that you're looking for. Don't be afraid to ask. And those are my tips for freshman year.
To close this interview out, I just want to end by asking you guys, how was your first week of going back to the building, and what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to being in green mode and seeing all of my friends again all together instead of us being separated. I miss all my friends. I miss being able to switch classes, and I miss the traffic, like everybody going to their classes all at the same time. because last year, freshman year, it was kind of fun. Like it was kind of like a big traffic stop, and you had people racing to go to classes. You had traffic jams, and you like, oh my gosh, what is happening? But I miss that. I miss being able to have that contact from my friends. I really miss just being in the classroom setting and not being in one classroom.
What I'm looking forward to this year is just, I mean, it's my first year with the podcast, so that's kind of exciting for me to see how it goes. And so far, I think it's great. I love all the people on here. And then I'm also on the soccer team, and our first game is next week, so that's also very exciting. And I'm looking forward to this year and just see how the team is and how we are and see if we win some games. And honestly, to just see how this year goes, because, you know, it's just nothing any one of us have experienced before, of being in quarantine and then wearing masks to school. I mean, it's just very different, and it's going to be something very interesting to see this year.
What I'm looking for is meeting new friends, and I really miss like coming out in the hallways and passing your best friend every single day, or having the same class as your friend.
Yeah, I totally agree, Daviana.
So, Daviana, in 4 years, you will be a senior. What is a message that you would like to tell your future self?
I'm going to say keep moving on and work hard and follow your dreams.
I think that's some beautiful advice. Okay, I believe that is the end of our podcast episode. Thank you all for joining, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye, guys.
Be sure to subscribe to the Google Classroom Mr. Corrigan has set up. The code is H3DPAQY. Subscribe and you'll get to see the old episodes that we've done and the new ones that are coming up.
Podcast. This was the Cristo Rey podcast. The Cristo Rey podcast. It came right at you. Podcast. This was the Cristo Rey podcast. The Cristo Rey podcast with a brand new casting crew. Like Captain Planet, their powers combined like the Power Rangers or Voltron. If you don't get all my references to the 80s and 90s, there's this thing called Wikipedia, look them up. But hold on, as your teacher I should say, don't use it for original research in your classes, don't do that. Podcast. This is the Cristo Rey podcast, the Cristo Rey podcast, blah 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 blah. Podcast, something something podcast, yeah podcast. See you next week.